It comes. It is not one, but three. Not one, but three. Not one, but three. Ordained by the gods, assisted by their ancestors. They come mantled in twos. They come. Not one, but three.
I remember those words like it was yesterday. They were Mama Zari's words to my father on the day I first knew I had the supernatural ability to transform from man to lion. Tonight, I couldn't sleep. I keep hearing the words of Mama Zari in my mind over and over again. Peeping through my windows, I saw one of the palace servants enter the compound, carrying a small bundle. I was still wondering where he was coming from this late, when I saw Mama Zari enter the compound through the second gate. Immediately, I knew within me why I had been restless. My mother, Queen Jaffa, is pregnant. To me, as a 10-year-old boy, she has been pregnant forever. I was still deep in my thoughts when my father summoned me to his chambers. Holding my hand, we walked out of the house towards the surrounding forest. Then he said, in a heavy voice, "We are taking a trip to the land of the spirits, a land where mere mortals do not tread, and we are not going as humans." We transformed and bounded deeper into the forest, passing different lands, rivers, and jungles. It was a long trip, even in that form. I remember feeling thrilled, existing freely as a lion in that deep jungle. We ended our trip in front of a big old Iroko tree with a hole at the center. In the hole was a calabash with 3 pieces of colonut. We stood staring at the tree until I heard the voice.
They come in 3, blessed by the gods, with the gifts from their ancestors. Their burden is big because the gifts are doubled. She comes with the gift of sight and healing. He comes as a shadow with the power of words. She comes with the power to silence noise and command winds. They come in 3, blessed by the gods, with the gifts from their ancestors. Your assignment is to train them on how to harness and use their powers correctly. Do not fail. You must not fail. They are sent by the gods. Their mantles will mature early. You must not fail, or Janbali will be destroyed. They are 3, and they are sent by the gods. Sent by the gods, by the gods, gods.
I woke up the next morning to the cries of my siblings. I cannot remember vividly how I got home and on my bed, but as young as I was, I felt a weight of sadness cloak over me. Something within me kept saying, "You have failed." Thinking back on the events of the night, I remembered how I shook with fear on hearing that voice. Even with my father beside me, I could not hide my terror and trepidation. Gasping for air, I lost consciousness. Once or twice when I opened my eyes, I felt my father's strength as he bounded through the forest, making his way back home, carrying me on his back. In Janbali, the gods speak through bloodlines. Powers are not just gifts, they are burdens, passed from ancestors to the living, a connection that binds the land, its people, and their destinies. It is even a bigger burden when it comes double. That's why the triplets are so special. They're not just my siblings. They're the guardians of secrets older than our kingdom. My younger siblings, the triplets, are all gifted by the gods. Their gift is different from mine. My gift is a legacy that is burdened with leadership. Their gifts are mantles handed over by our ancestors, making them guardians. The unique thing is that each of them received 2 gifts. One unique gift that grants you the position of a guardian, and another that can make or kill. The second they have started displaying from the age of 3. I remember the first time I saw their powers as guardians in full display, and the unease that I felt. It was on the eve of the triplets' 5th birthday. I was 15 years old then. Father had taken us through an ancient tunnel in the palace to the ancestral grove, a sacred place deep in the forest where the air hums with something ancient. He said,
"Here, the gods and the ancestors meet with those carrying their mantles, gifts, and will."
Lifting up his voice, my father spoke.
O great ones, the ones who hold the secrets of our kingdom. Ye have chosen to bless mortal men with your gifts. Today I present the three before you. You alone give, you alone can build, and you alone can equip one to use the gift he has been given. Grant me the power to do the works you have assigned unto me. But above all, I present them for the task ahead. Make their gifts as guardians to come alive, O great ones. We pledge that what we receive, we will keep and honor. We will not cause harm except to one that is evil. Let the deep call unto the deep. Let spirit merge with spirit. As we say and as you will, so be it.
The triplets, Adia, Fari, and Malik, stood beside me, looking as nervous as I felt. Adia's eyes darted around like she could already see something invisible. Fari, the quiet one, just stared at the ground. And Malik, well, he couldn't stop fidgeting. When Father spoke the ancestral words, the ground beneath us shook. It wasn't the kind of tremor that made you lose balance. It was deeper, like the earth was alive and listening. The air grew heavy, and for the first time, I saw my siblings' powers on full display. Adia's hands glowed faintly, golden veins spreading up her arms like roots. Fari exhaled sharply, and suddenly, everything around her went silent. Even the rustling leaves stopped. Then she murmured, and wind swirled all around her, affecting even the trees. Malik? He turned to me, and his shadow moved on its own, stretching and twisting like it had a mind of its own. It took the might of the gods for me not to faint, even as I watched my siblings change in size, forms, and attire as their gifts manifest. As quickly as it started, everything returned to normal. Father took us home. The triplets didn't know what to make of what happened. As we walk back to the palace, you can feel the fear emanating from them. They were all holding on to my father's hand as we walked back. Nobody spoke. The triplets barely touched their dinner that night. Later that night, Father sat with all of us in the palace and explained what happened as if it was the most natural thing in the world. He said, "Aida, you carry the light of sight. You have the seeing eyes. You can see past, present, and future events. But you also have the healing touch. Fari, silence is your shield. You can silence every form of noise. Also, you can conjure up wind for good or as a weapon of destruction. Malik, shadows are your strength. In that form, you can pass through walls or troops of the enemy undetected. Also, you have the power of words. You can use words to call down fire or to make a way of escape. Together, you are protectors of Janbali's balance. And together, you will help your brother succeed. Tomorrow, your training starts." Father continued, looking contrite. "What you have is not just a gift. It is a responsibility. A responsibility to your family, to the throne, and to Janbali Kingdom. A responsibility to the gods who entrusted you with the gifts. Aida, you will start your training with Mama Zari, the village midwife and healer. She will help you learn the herbs and how to use them. She will train you on how to properly use the light of sight." Turning to Fari, he said, "Your mother will be your trainer." "Mother?" I questioned, looking baffled. I could understand Mama Zari because she has the same gifts as Aida, but my mother is just my mother. "Yes, your mother," Father replied. "Do you know why your mother is called Cuckoo by the elders?" he asked. I answered, "No. Cuckoo is not a title, it's a name linked to her gift. She is the wind, a very destructive one. That is why she hardly gets angry." Facing Malik, Father continued, "I will handle your training myself." That night, I slept off trying to imagine my mother, Queen Jaffa, as the wind. She is a quiet one, just like Fari, very unassuming, and always seems happy to me. I woke up to Adia's screams. I ran to their bedroom. My mother was already there, cradling her to her bosom, while my father looked on. I joined Fari and Malik, who were huddled together on Malik's bed. Ada has had a vision, and it was a terrifying one. On the eve of my 18th birthday, we were all seated in the palace, having a family discussion, when when suddenly Ardia's countenance changed. She stood and, looking steadfastly, began to speak.
Kael must choose, or we all fall. Kael must choose, or we all fall. Something is coming. I see it coming. Closer, closer. He must choose.
Silence reigned. You can hear a pin drop. No one spoke. We all knew what that meant. The time has come. We all went to bed with a heavy heart. I couldn't sleep. My heart was filled with terror and questions. Will I fail my people? Will I succeed? Why did the gods choose me? We woke up the next morning to see Baba Lumo standing in front of the palace. Baba Lumo rarely leaves his hut unless something truly important is at stake. We gathered around him. He neither looked at us nor answered our greetings. He kept on murmuring his chants. Then he spoke.
The peace of Janbali teeters on the edge of chaos. Deep within the forest, an ancient threat stirs. A dark force bound by an age-old curse. It seeks to consume our kingdom. The gods chose you before your birth, Prince Kael. Your choice is the power that will rescue the kingdom. The Grove Ball has been stolen. You must find and return it to the gods at the ancient grove. You must find it before it's too late. The shadows are creeping in. Do not let doubt and fear hold you back. The curse has started spreading. The kingdom is already under attack. Will you save our people or not? The choice is yours.
He turned to the triplets and said,
Your powers are not yours alone. The gods chose you to protect what lies in the grove. The grove is restless. Shadows are stirring. Only together can you keep the balance. You were ordained for this by the gods. You must stand with him. You must help him succeed.
He looked at me then, his gaze heavy, and said,
You, Prince Kael, must lead them. Their power is tied to yours. Your choice will ignite your strength, and your strength will decide Janbali's fate.
Then he was gone, leaving behind only the weight of his words. The grove, the gods, the balance. It all felt bigger than us, but there was no escaping it. That night, sleep eluded me. Aida's vision, Baba Lumo's warning, and the triplets' powers, the grove ball, the shadows, all swirled in my mind. Something was happening. Something none of us understands fully. When I finally closed my eyes, I saw it, a shadow moving through the deep forest, watching, waiting. Whatever was out there wasn't just a threat. It was real, determined, and very dangerous. And I do not know if we are ready for it.
Thank you for watching episode 2 of the Janbali Chronicles, The Triplets. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to encourage us to bring more stories your way. Watch out for episode 3, The Shadows in the Forest. An ancient force awakens. What will Prince Kael do?